A major update on SNAP benefits. The USDA says it will fund benefits in full while the Trump administration pushes back against a judge's order.
Plus, honoring individuals and groups who go above and beyond in service to the state line, the finalists for this year's Excalibur and Excelsior Awards.
You put all the pain and time and effort, training, mission accomplished. And that's what it was all about.
A veteran breaks a world record right here in the state line.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. We thank you for being here. Tonight at 5, millions of Americans will receive their SNAP benefits a week after 2 court rulings ordered them to be distributed.
The USDA announced earlier this afternoon it will distribute benefits while the Trump administration appeals that decision. In a letter to regional SNAP directors, USDA's Food and Nutritional Services said it's working to implement the benefits of the judge's order and will complete the processes necessary to make funds available later today. Roughly 42 million people in America, including 28 million children, rely on SNAP benefits every month.
In Belvidere, police arrest a Poplar Grove man they say was carrying an illegal amount of drugs and ammunition. Joshua Salgado now faces unlawful delivery and possession charges. Shortly after 3:30 yesterday afternoon, officers say they stopped a car near Appleton Road in the US 20 bypass. Police searched the car and say they found nearly a pound of marijuana and more than 30 rounds of handgun ammunition. More than 60 cannabis vape pens were also found inside. Salgado was arrested and booked into the Boone County Jail.
3 individuals as well as 3 local organizations are chosen as finalists for this year's Excalibur and Excelsior Awards. For the Excalibur Award, Dr. Cyrus Oates, an advocate for dental health. He launched a mobile dental program serving thousands of RPS students each year. Karen Tilley, who's worn many hats in her service to the Forest City over the past 48 years, including longtime director of MELD and a driving force in Alpine Kiwanis. Penny Wurgis, who created Gigi's Playhouse in Rockford and is a strong advocate for people with Down syndrome. For the Excelsior Award, this year's finalists are Rockford Promise, the Superhero Center for Autism, and Vets Roll. The winners of both awards will be announced at a ceremony at Prairie Street Brew House December 11th. Eyewitness News is the official TV partner of the Excalibur and Excelsior Awards. 3 finalists have been announced to serve as interim superintendent for the school district of Beloit. The Board of Education narrowed its search to Dr. Wayne Anderson, James Feel, and Dr. Carrie Wilson. Board members expect to make an appointment later this month. Last month, Beloit Superintendent Willie Garrison announced his resignation effective at the end of this year.
Today, city leaders helped unveil a new luxury apartment complex in downtown Rockford.
2, 3.
New State Apartments features nearly 3 dozen living spaces ranging from studios to 2-bedroom units. It sits in the New State building, which was purchased by Urban Equities in 2018. The group renovated the property for living while still retaining its original mid-century modern origin.
We kept the cool mid-century modern design that Max Liebling had designed for back in 1951. And we didn't just save what he did, but we ran with it and incorporated into our new apartments, into our tenant lounge, and into some of the other amenities and things that we did in the building.
As of this morning, about 20 apartment units have already been pre-leased. The average rent ranges from $1,300 to $1,800 a month.
Veterans Day is this Tuesday, and the YMCA of Rock River Valley spent today serving those who've served us. Today was the Y's annual Veterans Lunch. It was held at the Log Lodge on the Rock River. The first 50 local veterans who registered were served a free meal. A slideshow presentation of the attendees or their loved ones in military uniform was shown during the event. YMCA staff say veterans sharing their memories with one another is very powerful.
We're about community. We're about meeting people where they are. We know that shared experience and stories are powerful. And when you get people around a table enjoying a meal together and sharing their experience, that's how we build community. And we're excited to be able to foster that with our veterans.
Veterans also had the opportunity to learn about the local resources available to them right here in our community.
Another celebration of veterans took place in Rockford today, this one at Charter Senior Living. Charter collaborated with Heartland Hospice to host a celebration and pinning ceremony for state line veterans as acknowledgement for their service and sacrifices. Those honored received a certificate and a pen presented by members of the Rockford Police Department. Charter's senior living staff says this event is mutually rewarding for themselves and the veterans.
They not only get to be recognized for their years of service, but we get to be part of that. We've taken a very serious approach with veterans when we acquire new residents. We honor them with our Veterans Wall. We honor them throughout the year whenever we get the chance for these type of ceremonies. And it just sort of brings back memories for them.
A mail call was held following the ceremony where local children wrote letters and cards and notes to give our veterans.
After running all day and all night, a Marine and Army veteran adds his name to the Guinness World Records. Mark Jones has now broken the record for the longest distance rucked in 24 hours while carrying a 40-pound weight. He began his attempt yesterday morning from Prairie Field Sports Park in Belvidere. Jones hoped to raise awareness for the Oscar Mike Foundation. It's a nonprofit supporting injured and disabled veterans.
That's what kept me in this fight. We talked about, Guinness World Record it's basically an event. If it's 5K you sign up for, just on a different level, just with specific standards. And that's why I searched a challenge, an event, and a purpose.
Oscar Mike says Jones set the record at over 88 miles, beating the previous record set in 2022 of just over 79 miles. This month, we recognize the commitment of all who've served in the military with a special edition of Eyewitness News. You'll hear stories from across the country and here at home. Veterans' Voices honoring those who served this Tuesday at 6, right here on WTVO 17. Honoring the legacy of those lost.
Coming up, we take a look at the Let's Go Scholarship and how it carries on the memory of a beloved husband, father, and friend.
The temperature is sitting in the 50s for many of us right now. We're going to see even cooler weather as we head beyond our next cold front. How quickly our temperature will fall tonight following the passage of a few showers, and our chances for any snow to accumulate tomorrow. That's coming up in your most trusted forecast in just a little bit.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Sports Director Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
A local volleyball club is offering help to those who can't afford to join. The scholarship created in memory of a beloved father, Bill Messenger.
Eyewitness News reporter Stephen Lewandowski explains the legacy he leaves behind.
This is Bill Messenger, a husband, a father, and a friend gone too soon. Bill passed away last year after a hard-fought battle with cancer. Although he's gone, he's not forgotten.
Once Bill had passed, and we were really trying hard to find a way to honor him. And this scholarship and doing what we're doing right now was the most obvious thing in the world because it's exactly what Bill was doing.
VC United, a local volleyball club, meant everything to Bill. The Let's Go Scholarship being named in his memory.
All the girls know whenever they hear Let's Go, they know it's Bill, and they would also chant the Let's Go. Let's go! Let's go!
Two of Bill's three daughters played at VC United. They could always count on him to be their #1 fan.
You couldn't miss him. You knew he was there because he just had to, be so involved that it's just he couldn't hold it back. And he was a light that shined very bright when we were in those places.
The scholarship was created to make club volleyball more accessible to young athletes.
I know how important it was to him. I know how important it is to me to be able to open up access, not just to the people that can afford it, but to anybody that wants to pursue this level of excellence and level of competitiveness. It shouldn't be limited to simply based on financials.
This scholarship is going to be incredibly important for the kids here at VC United. It's going to open doors that otherwise might not have been opened for kids that maybe can't financially afford it. I think it's going to carry Bill's spirit and his belief that every young person deserves support, encouragement, and a part of a team or a place to belong.
It's an honor to have his name attached to such a big shoe to fill because, that is quite a compliment. He'd be honored, and I think it really does kind of wrap up exactly who he was.
Through VC United and everyone he loved, his legacy lives on.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
Reporting for your home team, I'm Stephen Lewandowski.
Well, the calendar says it's fall, but we could see some wintry conditions in the state line this weekend.
When we come back, Jordan tells us if we could even see some snow. It's in his full forecast straight ahead.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
High temperatures today making their way into the 60s. Another very mild November day in the state line. We made it to 64 even in Rockford. We're now sitting at 59 there, 58 in Dixon, 57 out in Freeport, down to 50 in Monroe, 52 out in Galena. Weather watcher Gene in DeKalb reporting 59 degrees, around 45% humidity and an 11-mile-per-hour wind. We have seen the increase in a few of those light rain showers really over the last couple of hours. A few raindrops falling against our camera and enough to wet the roads on the northeast side of Rockford. Our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera brought to us by the Javon Bay Mercy Health Hospital. There's a look at a few of those showers showing up with satellite and radar. A few pockets of that steadier rain now entering parts of Rock County in Wisconsin and Boone County in northern Illinois. Anywhere south and west of those steadier showers, only really a couple of sprinkles and maybe a brief light shower. And all of this moving fairly quickly in and out of the area. Back behind it, we have some of this drier air, also much colder air settling in back behind that front. So all of that rain likely exiting the area as we head closer to about 7 or 8 o'clock. The bigger story, though, the cooler air settling in back behind it. Behind that cold front, temperatures tonight dropping through the 40s and into the upper 30s. And when you look with the temperature just about a half mile to a mile above the surface, that's where you find this level, our low-level temperatures. And this line I've highlighted in that dark blue color where we're right about freezing at about a half mile to a mile above the surface. Notice at the moment, those temperatures are still above freezing, up to about a mile above the ground. But as we head into tomorrow, we get that cooler air that starts to work its way in. That freezing line at about a mile above the surface, still hovering very close by, until we then head into late tomorrow evening when this big pocket of cooler air settles in, bringing our surface temperatures down along with those low-level temperatures. So here's a look at how that could impact our temperatures at the surface as well as our precipitation types. Futurecast, a couple of those spotty showers here into the evening, but exiting the area toward about 8 o'clock tonight. We're still left with some of that cloud cover. Otherwise, temperatures could fall even further if we were to clear out, but likely hugging the upper 30s, and a few spots may even stay in the 40s overnight. That'll set the stage for a cooler day tomorrow as we'll start to see our next round of precipitation move in for the middle and early parts of the afternoon. So this is our initial precipitation coming down in the form of rain for most of us as those surface temperatures likely hugging the 40s. But as that cooler air filters in quickly by the evening, you see that switch over from rain to snow. I do think Futurecast is just a little quick on that flip over, likely happening toward 5, 6, or 7 o'clock in the evening, where we'll start to see a few of those flakes mixing in, and then eventually all snow as we head into the later part of Saturday evening and going into Saturday night. All told, there isn't really much of this snow that sticks to the ground, though. Remember, temperatures today still in the 60s, so a very warm surface likely limits how much of that snow would actually stick and accumulate. So these particular numbers, right around an inch or maybe even up to 1.5 inches, likely on the higher side, mainly those accumulations only on grassy and elevated surfaces. But our temperature, they're going to be a little bit on the cooler side for tomorrow. We'll only make it to 46 and then 35 as we then head into Sunday. For the rest of the week, we do see a quick rebound in those numbers, eventually getting us back up into the 50s. But guys, we are going to be talking about some of that snow, at least going into tomorrow. A little bit early on some of that. No, we're going to be talking about it quite so soon, but the weather does what weather wants.
I'm not ready yet. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around it.
I'm glad to see the 50s later in your forecast.
50s at least come back by the end of the week.
Thanks, Jordan. Scott's next with sports.
He'll get you all set for the second round of high school playoff action. The game is being played tonight and tomorrow.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
Round 2 of the IHSA football playoffs will be kicking off shortly at some high schools around the state. 2 of them are in our area, and one involves the NIC-10 champions. The Belvidere North Blue Thunder will be back on their home field at Milk Brown Stadium for a Class 5A game. The Blue Thunder will host the Canelan Knights. The Blue Thunder crushed Chicago Noble last week, 49-0. They'll be in for a much stiffer test tonight. Canelan is 8-2, and the Knights scored 68 points last week in a win against Lakes High School. These two teams met last year in the first round of the playoffs. Belvidere North won that game 35-20. Dixon is the other local team that will take the field tonight. The Dukes will host the Coal City Kohlers in a 4A game. These two teams also met in the playoffs last year. Coal City won that game 20-13. So the Dukes will have a little payback on their minds tonight. These are the games of local interest that will be played tomorrow. First in the IHSA playoffs, Harlem at Central in Burlington. That's a 6 p.m. start. Byron against DuPac and Pecatonica at 1. Melvin Sibley at Lena Winslow at 1 and Stockton at Hayworth at 2. In the 8-man playoffs tomorrow, South Beloit will play at Milledgeville at noon. At 2 o'clock, Polo will host St. Anne. And at 6 o'clock, Amboy will play at Pawnee. And we're ready to go tonight with our final overtime football show for this season. In addition to playoff action, we'll also give you our top 10 Nick 10 players for this season and our pick to win the conference next year. Plus, we'll spotlight two former East High School teams that won state championships, the legendary 1974 team and the Cinderella 1985 team. We'll be on Fox 39 right after the Northwestern USC college football game. Ice Hogs take the ice tonight in Milwaukee, and they will have their work cut out. The Admirals are playing great hockey. They've only lost one game in regulation this season. The Ice Hogs defeated them, though, on opening night in overtime at the BMO. These two teams are going to play again tomorrow night at the BMO. And the Bulls play Milwaukee tonight. The Bulls' 6-1 record is the best in the East and the second best in the NBA, behind Oklahoma City. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you again at 6. Have a good evening.